We're back from break, and we actually had a bit of a tear fest. Carlin ended up chopping up the rest of the shallots. He's got them in the pan cooking. They got some nice color to them, and I think we're ready to move on. And we got something buzzing here, Carlin. What's that?
Well, what it's indicating here is we're at 130 degrees, so that means medium rare, getting close to that sweet spot. Going to take the roast out of the oven and just set it on the island here to rest for about 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Got to be careful with the temperature gauge because it is wired in here.
I'll bring it for you.
Thank you.
1 second.
Sure.
Okay.
Now, your first instinct would be to remove that temperature gauge. However, I'm going to leave it in so that all the juices are still sealed right into the meat itself. If I pulled that out, you would see a steady stream of juice coming out. Actually, somehow it turned out looking kind of like a rabbit, but I assure you that is a beef tenderloin. So just checking on my shallots here. They got some nice caramelization going on in the pan. And those will be ready for the Parmesan dish quite soon. I'm going to switch gears here and go right straight to the mushrooms and get them in the Bordelaise sauce. Now, for all you food aficionados, you know what a Bordelaise sauce is. In firefighter terminology, it's gravy. So just to make that clear, I got some King Trumpet mushrooms, which have a beautiful buttery taste.
Carlin cuts up this great assortment of mushrooms and puts them into the frying pan so that he can begin coating the carrots.
Just before the break there, I put the carrots in the sink in a colander, drain them out. They're nice and tender, but they still have a little bit of crunch to them. Yes, I did wash my hands, so I'm just going to give them a gentle massaging through the sauce.
The carrots are then completely coated into the sauce. And then Carlin tops it off with breadcrumbs and Romano cheese that he sprinkles over the mixture. Carlin adds basil to the Bordelaise sauce and cuts up the parsley that he will add to the layers of potatoes along with the shallots.
Looks like the butter's all melted.
Perfect.
You're probably ready to put a layer on there.
Okay. So today, today we're using a cast iron pan. You can use basically whatever kind of pan you want. However, just be sure that it can go in the oven because that's how we finish this dish. So we have quite a large assortment here now of potatoes, and I'm just going to scooch by here, Lou, and start building the Parmesan.
Okay.
So right on the bottom of the dish, find some of your larger potatoes, and you can just start dealing them out, just like a card game. Now I have put a little extra layer of fat in here today, just because it is a cast iron pan. I want this thing to be able to flip out later. You can get as pretty or as rough as you want with this. It really does not matter, as long as the bottom of the pan is covered with potatoes. As you can see, I'm not uniform all the way around. Some people would use the best looking potatoes on the bottom of the dish because when we flip it over, that's what you're going to see. However, we're at the fire hall today. As long as there's lots of food, no one seems to be too picky. One other thing that you want to do throughout this process is make sure that the whole dish is floating. And what that means is when I shake the pan a little bit, we want to make sure, I don't know if you can see that in there, but the whole dish right now is floating. And that's a good thing. So I'm going to hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper first, a little bit of ground pepper. You're going to end up with quite a bit of pepper, or you could end up with quite a bit of pepper. Just a tiny bit every layer or so. beautiful green parsley. And I'm gonna grab that wooden spoon wherever that went to, in case my shallots are hot. And throw a good layer of the caramelized shallots in there as well. Like I said, you could put whatever you want. If you want to layer it with cheese, you can build it as using as much fat as you want. I'm trying to keep it a little bit healthy today. We got a beautifully trimmed, healthy tenderloin roast, some beautiful carrots. These are beautiful lot, aren't I, Lou?
It's a good term for this meal.
And you could add meat, layers of meat in here if you'd like. You can add basically whatever you want.
Well, what Carlin's going to do is he's going to put another layer on there, flip it as he said, place the potatoes into the oven. The carrots are ready, so they're ready to come out. Potatoes are going in, and we're going to go to a little break. We'll be right back, and Carlin will be serving the firefighters their meal.
Active, unique, progressive, community. Just some of the words to describe this awesome city, which hosts the second largest Oktoberfest in the world. Kitchener, Ontario.